Hi all. Once again, thanks for joining. So we'll start off the webinar, and so as I said, you can write down your questions and let us know once we are done with the presentation. And so first of all, good morning to all of you. And so this webinar is kind of special to myself and Archana. Reason being, this is one of the topics that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and this time we've got the opportunity to do it. And the reason I consider it special is because many of us has this confusion whether should I take a life insurance separately, or should I consider both club together. How does it work? And if I club it together, I save a lot of time. At the same time, I don't have to worry about a certain. I don't have to worry because both of them, both the benefits come from same product itself and all that. On the other hand, if I take it separately, I'm using it for the only purpose that it is meant to, be. So, that is the confusion that we want to, solve today. And with you all, we'll be exploring these two products. We'll also additionally explore mutual funds, which is kind of a off topic when it comes to insurance, but then that is also, rooted to this concept as well. So once again, my teammate Archana is also, in the webinar who, will be presenting, in a while now. So yeah, welcome you all. And, we are starting off now. Over to you, Archana.
Good morning, everyone. Hope my audio is clear. Can you hear me? Loud. Okay. Yeah. Great. So this is a topic that we want to discuss for a long time. So which is term plus MF or ULIP, who wins? So when you think about life insurance, when you read it, so what came to your mind? So did you think of an insurance plan that promises a sum assured, against life under lump sum maturity, right? You probably have a couple of them in your portfolio also. So like if, a lot of them, a lot of the clients we face, they have, a lot of LIC policies. So which give them a lump sum at maturity as well as, if not a sum assured against life. So basically, while securing your life, these investment is also known as to be a genius product. So this reminds me of a genius discovery called radium. So this radium, a radioactive material, a century ago, cosmetics and healthcare products has radium in them. So the manufacturers push these products to consumers, claiming it can make your skin glow in dark, and it can cure your illness as bad as cancer. So these were the manufacturers push these products in this way. So it was portrayed like a miracle element, so which should be in everyone's house. So radium charged products were a must have in every household until the radium poisoning took its time to kill them inside out. So what we have come to know about is one solution to all problems, right? Does it sound so familiar, like that one solution to all your problems? So it is like an unofficial tagline, every investment insurance plans. So here I'll refer ULIP as an investment insurance. And while the pure term plan will be life insurance or term insurance, okay? So this investment insurance plans out there in market, these are their unofficial taglines. That is one solution to all problems. So today, the way investment insurance policies and ULIPs are being marketed as one of, for all your financial needs, you can use this particular product. So they must be like a radium in the world of financial planning, right? So especially the ULIPs. So it is claimed to be the ready-made financial plan for all. So just because it is termed as a safe product and a majority is buying it, it does not mean it is safe. So over the years, you can see the insurance companies, their agents and advertisers have romanticized the investment insurance plans, like how jack of all trades. So to increase the sale of insurance, they presented the insurance plans with tax benefits and supposed investment benefits and still do. So they leverage the word assured, guaranteed, and the excellent marketing skills developed over the years to sell the product. But in reality, they locked up your savings for a meager life cover with no respectable appreciation. This is the true reality. So, which with an example, with the review, Mr. Swagath will take it up in the following slides. So you can see you are locking up your savings in a meager life cover with no respectable appreciation. So investment insurance policies, they deceive on three different fronts. So they are insurance, investment, and tax benefits. So these are the three things that they are putting forth. In life insurance, in case of death, your nominee gets paid. If you survive, you will not get anything, right? So in order to get back something, people opt for life insurance policies that basically return a certain sum even if you survive. But insurance is not an investment. So we are telling this to our client. We are emphasizing this often to our clients that you should not treat insurance as an investment. So we are often sold, insurance as an investment product instead of a protection product. Insurance is to protect your family from the uncertainty of your death, right? So while investment is to accumulate wealth to meet your financial goals, to earn a regular income. So whatever to achieve your goals, to earn a regular income after retirement and all that. So what happens when you mix insurance and investment? So now you can see I have given a difference between ULIP and term, which most of us know, right? So the focus here on ULIP is combining investment plus insurance, whereas in term insurance, it's purely protecting your life. Where premium here are higher due to the investment component, here the premium is just for the death benefit only. It is charged only for the death benefit. And here you can see lot of charges are there, like premium allocation, fund management, policy administration, mortality and surrender charges, all that is there. Whereas in term insurance, there is no hidden charges. It's known for its simplicity and transparency. And as you know that ULIPs are subject to market risk, whereas in term insurance, there is no investment risk. So come back to the same question. What happens when you mix insurance and investment? First point, you become underinsured. So we all know that there is a component called HLV, human life value, for which that gives you an appropriate coverage, an approximate amount for which you should have a term insurance, right? So let's assume if it is a 5 crore term insurance or 10 crore term insurance or 1 crore term insurance. So simply you can see the premium will somewhere be around, for a 30-year-old, it will be around 30,000 or something. Whereas in ULIP, for 10 lakh policy, maybe you would have need to pay around 2 lakh premium per year. So that is how the premium will differ. There will be drastic change in the premium. So in ULIP, you are now being underinsured, right? You are just having a 6 lakh coverage or a 10 lakh coverage. So you won't be accumulate sufficient wealth to meet your financial goals. How this? So you can say ULIP is investing in market. Then how can I'm not gonna get any sufficient wealth? But then while explaining, while giving you the review about ULIP, Mr. Swagath will explain you how this is not possible in case of ULIP also. So, and also the cost of insurance reduces your returns. So this is why you need not to mix your insurance and investment. So when you attempt to achieve more than one financial goal, with a single product, right, it becomes very complicated, right? So this also makes it harder to assess whether it's a good deal. So hence focusing on one goal is better. So you can even take it as like one goal for one product for one goal. So insurance agents would say that endowment policies or ULIP policies, they offer both insurance and investment, right? But in reality, you can see that it was somewhere around 7 to 8% you may get, but it doesn't offer adequate like life cover. So I told you, right, in the in the starting of the presentation, jack of all trades, but what, master of none. So basically, this is not going to help you get adequate life cover. You are going to end up paying higher premium, but the investment part also is not going to offer that returns or sufficient returns to meet your goals. So moving on to next slide, we have. So that is a comparison that we have given ULIP Vs term insurance. So you can see a 50 lakh sum insured in case of ULIP and term. So we have taken, let's assume for next 20 years, this person is going to hold this policy. So the policy term is 20 years. And you can see the annual premium for ULIP is 2,50,000, whereas in term insurance, it's just 10,000. So a ULIP could take, so basically, if you look into it, 2,50,000, you're going to pay for the next 20 years, right? So basically, you're going to pay the whole 50 lakh, which is your sum assured as the premium. Whereas in case of term insurance, you are going to pay 10,000 for the next 20 years, and the total net premium payable will be 2 lakh only. So a ULIP could take 50 lakh in total for 20 years, and you will still gonna receive a life cover about 50 lakh. Or maybe if you see, if you survive the period, you are gonna get a little more depending on the NAV of the investments, right? Whereas if you choose term plan, you're supposed to pay just 2 lakh in total for 20 years, and the family would still receive this 50 lakh upon this person's demise. So can you imagine the difference in the premium? So basically you can see 0 times and 25 times, right? So you get the same death benefit if the in the insurance investment plan, okay, as you get from a term plan, which is 25 times higher. The price is 25 times higher. So basically, what compels to get a traditional plan now? So why we are forcing, or why we are emphasizing again and again on taking a pure term insurance or not depending on a ULIP product for an insurance purpose? So the only justification is you are going to get an assured sum, an assured amount if in the maturity. So now basically the difference between term plan and an investment product, you can see it's so it's 2,50,000 in ULIP and 10,000 in term insurance, right? So basically the difference, which is 2,15,000, you can this amount every year can be invested, in a mutual fund or equity. The returns will be definitely inspire you to invest more. So that's what we can say. So basically, we are gonna see how the ULIP industry looks like. So just we have given you what is a difference between ULIP and term insurance. So the next thing is to see how the industry looks like. So you can see that this is the ULIP industry overview. So as you can see, HDFC Life comprises of 21%, whereas ICICI Pru has around 18% in the market value, and then SBI Life is around 16%, and Aditya Birla is around 12%, and Max Life, Tata AA, Bajaj Allianz, and others follow by. So while moving on to next, we are just gonna see a person like Mr. Joe, who recently came to us. He is around 30 years old, and he wants to invest early. He wants to follow FIRE, so he wants to retire around 45, and he has an annual income of around 30 lakhs, and his annual expenses around 10 lakhs. So while we calculated his human life value, it has come around 5 crores, right? So he has this confusion of whether, so one of his friend was in he is an agent, so insurance agent, and he tells him to go for this ULIP product which gives him wonderful returns along with the insurance protection. Whereas when he came to us, we suggested him to go for a pure term plan for 5 crores. And so what I did is, so I have give this case to Mr. Swagath, and he helped Mr. Joe to decide on what, like, whether to go for a ULIP plan or to term. So what he has done is he has given the review of the ULIP plan, as well as he has given a view of how it could be, what are the alternate that he can look for, which helps him to to have a sufficient life value, as well as to reach good investment amount or investment to reach his goals. So as you can see, for in the ULIP plan that his friend has suggested Mr. Joe, the sum assured is 60 lakh, whereas the premium that Joe has to pay is around 6 lakhs per year. Whereas in the term crore that we suggested, the sum assured is 5 crores, whereas the premium is around 50,000 per year. So now it's on the hand of Joe to determine whether he has to go for ULIP and term based on his requirements. So this person, he is very new to the world of investment and insurance. He doesn't have any policy, life insurance policy or any term insurance policy beforehand. So he's just gonna we are just gonna help him take a decision between ULIP and term. So now over on to Swagath. Just to we just want you also to understand like how we help Joe in taking his financial decision.
Hi, Archana. Thanks for the presentation, and hope I'm audible. Am I audible to all of you? Okay, right. Thanks. So I'll start off with a review of a ULIP policy, and which is from SBI Life Smart Privilege. This is just an example, so not in a literal sense, but just to show you the difference and make you understand. So nothing against this policy, yeah. So in this slide, so we'll be discussing about the various charges in the ULIP plan, not just Smart Privilege, but in any ULIP plan. So this is just a common table. So just to make it clear to you, there are various charges in a ULIP plan. So I'll put it this way. Let's say so in the previous slide, you would have seen, the premium is 6 lakh, right? A part of 6 lakh goes to the insurance and part of 6 lakh goes to investment, right? And, there is also one more component which are called charges. And these are the charges, that is taken from the premium that we pay. And, following are the numbers. First is the premium allocation charge. So premium allocation charge is basically, the segregation of the premium, based on the necessity, and generally 2.5% of the premium amount for the first 5 years. So, it's 2.5%. And from the 6th year, there are no policy charge. So there are no charges. Reason is that first 5 years are the lock-in period, lock-in periods. From the 6th year, there are no lock-in periods in the ULIP policy. So that's why you have 2.5% of premium amount, charge for the first 5 years. Next is policy administration charge. So this is capped at 500 per month, which is close to 6,000 per year. And again, this is up to 5,000 per month, not literally 500. I'm sorry, up to 500 per month, not literally 500 per month, but up to 500. Next is fund management charge. Fund management is basically, there are like various funds. For example, there is 100% equity, there is 80% equity, 20% debt, there is 60% equity, or there is a hybrid fund, there is a debt fund, entirely debt fund, there is a money market fund, and there is a bond fund. So you have n number of categories of funds, close to say 10 to 12 or even more, right? And based on the fund that we choose for our ULIP to grow, or for the investment in the ULIP to grow, the charges are put per annum. Yeah. And then the fourth is a quite interesting one. That's a discontinuance charge. So say, for example, I'm going to pay the 6 lakh premium every year, right? Or even 3 lakh premium every year. So the thing is that, as I told you, the first 5 years has this charge, right? I'm sorry, the first 5 years has lock-in period, right? So how it works is that, only after the 5th year, I'll be able to take the money out if I want to. So the first 5 years, any which way I'll not be able to take the money out, but I'll have two options. First is that, once I paid premium for 3 years or even 2 years, I'll have a preference to take or preference to stop the premium. So once, let's say, first 3 years are the crucial period where I definitely have to pay the premium. But after third year, between third to 5th year, that is the 2 years, I can choose not to pay a premium or choose to pay a premium. So if, let's say, if I choose not to pay the premium, then my fund would be moved to discontinuance fund. So what it means is that, let's say I'd have paid, so the premium is going to be 6 lakh per year. So for 3 years, I would have paid 18 lakh, right? So for another 2 years, I choose not to pay. And the fund has grown to, let's say, from 18 lakh, it has grown to 20 lakh or something, or 25 lakh, something. Now, what happens is that in the 4th year, I'm not paying the premium. In the 5th year also, I'm not paying the premium. So now my policy will, or the fund value will move to a discontinued fund, which is kind of a pension fund kind of a thing. And the fund will grow at 4%, which means that from the risky part, it moves to a kind of a savings balance kind of thing, right? Where, let's say the fund was, earning a return of 10% or 8% or 12%, right? From there, it's moved to a safety locker thing. And it is only growing at 4% or 3.54%, something like that. And only at the end of 5th year, I'll be able to take the money out. So this is discontinuance fund. This is the explanation for that. And for that, I'll be put a charge, and that will be close to, depending on the fund amount, as well as depending on there's a percentage. So which means that, I'll be charged somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000 maximum, right? But the thing is that I have the option to, cut off my premium at the 4th year and take the money at the end of 5th year. So that's the idea. And if you see here, it says that charge as a percentage of fund value varies by policy year. No charge after the 5th policy year. So from the 6th year, if I stop paying the premium, still I don't have any charge. But at the 3rd and the 4th year and 5th year, if I stop, then I'll have some charge, which is 1,500 to 2,000 maximum. So these are types of charges. Now, this is a comparison, or this is about the policy. I'll just take you through it one by one. Policy term is 15 years. Annual premium is going to be 6 lakh. Premium is going to be yearly. Premium payment again is going to be 15 years. Then sum assured is 60 lakh. Sum assured means the death benefit. In case if something happens to me while I pay the premium for the policy, then my family will be paid 60 lakh as the death benefit. Next, the fund exposure is 100% equity. So as I told you, there are like n number of funds, and the funds, they are mixed. They are 100% equity. They are 100% debt. All that. So let's assume that it's 100% equity, and it grows at 8% or 9%, for example, right? Because in ULIP we literally can't measure how it is being put. So let's say it grows at 8%, then this is the final corpus that we'll be achieving, at the end of 15th year, right? And if I calculate XIRR, that is, the rate of return, it comes to 6.74%. The difference is because here I have put 8%, but the XIRR comes to 6.74%, and the difference is because of the charges, right? So that's one thing. So if I invest 6 lakh, if something happens to me from the insurance front, they'll pay my family 60 lakh. And if I survey the whole period, all the 15 years, then my fund would have grown to 1.5, which is 1.6 crore approximately. Coming to next thing, ULIP versus term insurance and MF. There is a second comparison. Say that same premium I'm going to pay, but in a different sense. So only 50,000 I'm going to pay for a cover of 5 crore. So this, I'll tell you how this 5 crore came. There is something called human life value, which Archana would have told you in the previous slides. So human life value means that I'm earning, I'm the main breadwinner of my family, and my family is financially dependent on me. So if something were to happen to me, then my wife would be the person who will be struggling, and my children too. So assuming my commitments towards my family and my my career and everything, then 5 crore will be the value my family will be looking or requiring till my wife turns 85 years. So this is a rough figure, or this is the pretty much appropriate figure. So this 5 crore is the value that I am supposed to cover myself, so that in case if something were happened to is supposed to, or if something unfortunate happens to me, then from today to the age of 85, this 5 crore will be sufficient for my family to sustain and run the family. And the premium I'll be paying for that is going to be 50,000 for next 15 years. The reason I have took 15 years is because I want to retire early at the age of 45. Right? Currently I'm 30. I want to retire at 45. So for next 15 years, this is what I'll be, I'll be earning, and my family will require if something happens to me, were to happen to me. So now the point is that if 50,000 is being invested as a premium in this policy, then I'll have rest of 5,50,000 as investment. If I do annual SIP in mutual funds, which gives me approximate 12% return, then every year I am investing 5,50,000 and the corpus grows to 2.3 crore. So in the previous slide, if you see, I'm paying premium for ULIP, where a portion goes to insurance and a portion goes to investment. My amount grows to 1.6 crore. On the other hand, here I have proper life insurance, which is for 5 crore on one end, and on the other part it's 2.3 crore, a corpus. So let's assume if something happens, my family will get 5 crore. If nothing happens to me, then I still have a return corpus of 2.3 crore with which I can sustain my family for rest of the years. So this is what I'll be earning from the mutual fund. So the clear idea is that, instead of clubbing both, if you have both separately, right, with the same premium amount or with same commitmental amount, then this is what I'm able to achieve, independently in these two products. Right? In term insurance, 5 crore because my family will require it. In mutual funds, it's 2.3 crore because this is the corpus I have achieved by saving this amount. So this is the clear difference I wanted to show you. And right, who's the winner here? Again, this is a comparison on a very mild level, which is if Joe survives, right, from ULIP, he will receive 1.5 crore, which you saw in the previous slide. And if he survives, and in the term insurance case, it's going to be 2.3 crore. The zero represents that from term insurance I don't receive any because I am surviving already. But I would have I'll be getting 2.3 crore as my corpus in hand. That's one thing. Coming to the second part, if Joey doesn't survive, all right, Joe doesn't survive, then let's say he dies because of something, right, some unfortunate event, then he'll be receiving 60 lakh or the fund value, whichever is higher. So in this case, it's 60 lakh or 1.5 crore, whichever is higher, his family will receive, right? Whereas in mutual fund, again, this would be 5 crore, which is the term insurance value, and as per the invested amount, which is 5 crore plus the MF returns. So MF returns, the reason it's not, we have not put a clear number, it's because let's say if the death happens in the 10th year, then the family will not be receiving entire of 2.3 crore, right? So it's 5 crore the family will receive. At the same time, it will not receive the entire 2.3 crore, because only if the amount is invested for the full of 15 years, the family will receive 2.3 crore. So in this case, he'll be receiving probably 1 crore, 1.8 crore, 1.08 crore. But the clear idea is to keep both the products separately, so that you're able to achieve your family's interest at the same time, in case if something were to happen to you, and at the same time, if nothing happens, if you're healthy and healthy, you're perfect, you're all right, at least, and you'll have at least 2.3 crore to run the family and choose something of your choice and choose your passion. So that's the idea. So we are open to questions, and I hope we were able to make a clear comparison and put out the idea to you in a proper sense. Hi, we're seeing. We see we have received a lot of questions. We'll just take one by one. First from Mr. Madhusudan. Thanks for the questions. Yeah, we'll be, I think we'll be able to, answer it. If not, at least we'll learn and we'll tell you next time. So you're saying that, life cover plus insurance is a decent product combo. So on a long-term run, it doesn't seem to be at par with MF, if not better, but definitely not bad or inferior, I feel. Might be true, but there is one point which Archana had told you, which is, your goals may be different, right? Your risk profile may be different. At the same time, the thing is that it is sold or it is brought in the idea that it will take care if my in my absence. That's the idea, right? But let's say the reason you don't say, definitely we're not saying it's bad, right? Only idea that we want to put out is because is that you should first cover your human life value, right? And ULIP is something that you can take as an additional product. We're not saying ULIP is bad. ULIP is definitely, it's a good product. It's a very decent product. It's a good product. But only thing is that you should know the difference when to buy it, right? You should first buy a term insurance to cover the family, to cover the risk. Only then, and then you can consider ULIP policy. You can have a mutual fund, you can have ULIP policy, you can invest in land, all that you can do. You can definitely, it's your life, your money, you can definitely diversify it. Just that, keep the basics clear. That's the idea. A term insurance will, give you the right amount that the family will require, right? So don't compromise in that. That's the idea. At the same time, have a ULIP as a third or fourth product, not as a first product, as a third or fourth product, because in ULIP there is one advantage which I want to really point out here. That will be definitely useful for you people, which is ULIP doesn't have this fund charge. It doesn't have a charge, which is most important one, which is let's say I want to switch between funds from equity, 100% equity. Depending on the market condition, I want to move to debt for some time, right? I can choose to move to debt. All of my money I can move to debt, and there are no charges. Absolutely, I can change it n number of times in my policy life year. Let's say that here in this case it's 15 years, right? So in this 15 years, I can choose to change the funds like 150 times or 200 times or 1000 times also. And it's absolutely, it's very flexible in that sense. So we are not saying ULIP is bad. We're saying have ULIP as a third or fourth product. So again, one more point from Mr. Madhusudan, that instead of saying as jack of all and master of none, we can also call it as all-rounder, right? Because nothing, everything is okay. Not everything you're saying is chasing returns, right? It's also about stability. No, we understand. The thing is that again, that's the same point I would want to say. If you see it as an all-rounder, yes, definitely it's a good all-rounder, but you should know when to prioritize it. That's the main point I would always say. Don't have it as a first product, because see, you will have a number of goals, right? You will so for all that you can't, as I told you, here you're getting 5 crore cover, here you're getting only 60 lakh cover. So difference is clearly 9 to 10 times, right? So that 9 to 10 times is a compromise that you're making for your family people. That's one thing. At the same time, it's not about chasing returns, definitely not, but you should always have it adequate, right? So because when the family is suffering, you can't raise this point as it's not always returns. It is definitely not always returns, but at the same time, if you have things adequate, then it's not a concern at all. So as I told you, have it as a diversified product. That's all. So keep MF and term insurance, or not even MF. Have something that you feel like as a proper investment vehicle for your risk profile, risk capacity. At the same time, that matches your goal. That's the idea. It's not about marketing MF or marketing term insurance, but we feel they are the appropriate products that can match your goal. Because end of the day, they are the basics, and once you compromise on your basics, how much you grow your money, all will be compromised if there is one emergency. Again, one more question from Mr. Madhusudan. Not every ULIP is charged like the case you showed, as there are many online direct plans with zero or nil cost at all. at all except FMC and motor charges. That's why overall cost structure is at par with MF. So investors have to be careful choosing right plan, low cost ULIPs rather than blindly buying buyers before. Right, sir? That makes sense. But at the same time, see, if you have this clarity, then I would tell this is for other people, because most of the policies that we are reviewing, right, at least every day or every week, we at least usually 5 to 6 ULIPs to review. So in that sense, these are the common problems that we see in in investors investments. So that's why we want to really bring it as an awareness or something. So nothing like nothing against ULIP plan. Definitely, I told you right. It's a decent plan, so you can definitely go for it. But again, you should know when to buy it. So that's the idea. Nothing like so nothing against ULIP again. So yeah, you are aware. Seems like you know a product well. So yeah, if you're able to pick a product without any charges or a less charge, right? Then that makes total sense. Yeah. One question from Mr. Raghuram. Total unfair to put 8% for ULIP and 12% for MF. So we only put what is put in the brochure. Again, ULIP rates differ. Yeah, that's one thing. So sometimes it has gone less than 8%, and sometimes it's gone more than 10% also. So we agree to both the scenarios. The reason we have taken 8% is because that's what is put and sent to you generally by any ULIP plan, if you see in the brochure. First thing. Second thing is that the reason we took 8% is because it's an average return as of we consider. First thing. Secondly, you really can't measure a return in ULIP plan because many people choose many funds, right? And only thing is that sometimes it beats the index and sometimes it doesn't, right? So whereas when it comes to MF, what you can clearly plan is that based on your risk capacity, based on your goals, based on the timeline you have, you can always choose the fund that matches your goal, right? So on those lines only we took 12% for MF. And we've in the last so again, this 12% is something that as per our readings and as per our study, and that's what we've done to our investors also as an average, or even more than that, in the last last years. Okay, one more question from Mr. Madhusudan. But MF returns are also not guaranteed or assured, but all returns are assumed only as if market remains in sidelines in like Japan. We can go for periods without any returns also possible. Just overhype euphoria or overselling promoting MF is my view. People have not seen falls in 2008 and recover only by 2014. So you can expect prolonged periods of flat market also when returns go for loss. That's fine, sir. That's correct. I agree to your point. But whatever data that we have shown is what have they done to our investors. So it's not hype or not overselling as we as per our view, but that's an opinion and we respect the opinion, sir. You also did not cover zero tax on ULIP returns versus long-term capital gain on MF. Noted, sir. Noted. That one point we'll definitely add in the future. Right. So the idea here is, tax is one of the important views to look at. I would agree. So this is just a starting of our presentation, and we would also want to go deep into both the subjects. Right. Having a proper MF expert. Probably in the next webinar or in the coming webinar, where we can clearly show you how the tax is going to play a major role in MF and in ULIP as well. So we would love to add that to our presentation as well. So the reason we didn't come up with that point is because at first we would only want to show how we can purchase a product, right? It's not again entirely about tax alone. At the same time, many people that we know who starting their career, instead of taking a proper term plan and saving, they are straight away going for ULIP. So those are the audience that really we want to address, because for people who have already taken, yes, yeah, that's also makes sense. But then this is for people who are starting career and who are making this not a blunder, but a over excitement mistake is what I would call it. So that's the reason. But definitely, yeah, thanks for the suggestion. You definitely add this tax point in the next presentation that we do. Further, MF is also charging expense ratio of up to 2%, exit load, etc. Where do you factor all this? Okay, so yeah, whatever, yeah. So thanks for the question. So again, this 2% expense ratio, it's not 2% everywhere. At the same time, it's not low also. It's somewhere between 1.2 to 1.5, or probably sometimes more than that. But the idea is, again, 12% that we've shown is, with regular fund only. So it's not direct fund, with regular fund only, because we are doing regular funds, right? So regular fund only we took, and in regular fund we believe that we have done 12% or more than that in the past, and that's the example that we've taken, sir. But yeah, so as I told you in the previous point, in the next presentation, we would like to go deep into the subject, comparing ULIP and MF, and we will also have an MF expert on our side, and we can explain fully, and we would be more happy to answer that question as well. So we have noted down this point, sir. So from Mr. Kannan, I paid all my ULIP premium in ICICI Blue Elite Wealth 2. Now 8th year going. Is it good idea to withdraw the money now? So without seeing the plan, without seeing the policy, I'll not be able to tell you. And at the same time, without understanding your goals, your requirements, what is the purpose that you wanted to invest in this plan, without knowing it, I'll not be able to tell you. If you want to know that, then we'll put our number. You can reach out to us on that, and we'll review your plan and we'll tell you, sir. So now, just with this information, I'll not be able to tell you. From Mrs. Sudha, first, is it appropriate to compare ULIP with term plus MF? It's comparing apple versus orange. Probably, ma'am, but again, the idea is to not to degrade ULIP, but the idea is to tell which makes more sense. That's the idea. Although it's apple versus orange, many people sometimes choose endowment or ULIP plan instead of going for a proper term plan. So that's the idea. So yeah. From Mr. Raghuram once again, if you choose index fund in ULIP and consider non-tax, wouldn't it be good? It can be good, sir, but again, yeah. So how we look at ULIP plan or a term plan or even a MF is it's slightly. I'll tell you here. Probably you would have spoken to somebody from our office, but the philosophy remains same, I guess. So which is we always want to understand your goal, understand the timeline that you have from here, and understand your requirement. Only then we can comment on this, because for any say for example, I'm not recommending term plan for everybody, right? Because there is one more question that comes here, which says that I'm 59. What is that I can look at is one more question. So we can't suggest term plan for him, right? At the same time, we're not suggesting term plan for everybody, right? It's only as per the requirement. So say for example here, if index fund in ULIP and consider non-tax makes sense, yeah, we would want to look at those details and only then comment on it. It may be purposeful or it may not be, but again, see, the thing is that we want to go from the roots where to understand the goal, and if this investment will make a sense or justify this goal. That is the point, sir. So from Ms. Sudhaji, term should be independent as it comes under total protection. The comparison should be only ULIP versus MF. Also for asset reallocation, it's better to have different baskets. Maybe have up to 2.5 lakhs under ULIP. So that's what I'm same point I told you. which is, have term insurance for total protection, right? And then you can have, either you can have, both MF and ULIP just to diversify or to understand, each purposes and everything, right? So as I told you, it's do not rely on ULIP alone is the point. So you can, definitely have it as a diversity product. So I'm not, trying to mean here it's bad again. So have it as a diversity product. No, that makes sense. From Mr. Vijay Armugam, ULIP plan that 5 years payment period and 15th year will be maturity. Do you have any calculations same as you have shown in this webinar? And also share your opinion regarding about the plan. Sir, didn't get to a question. Would you be able to elaborate on the same? From Mr. KKV, which insurance company is selling more ULIPs? Sir, I think in the previous slide, HDFC sells more, followed by ICICI and SBI. So these three are the main companies that has more market share in the ULIP area. From Mr. Sasikumar, I already have Tata ULIP with premium of 70,000 paid already for 3 years, in which my life cover is 54 lakhs. And around 50,000 is invested in funds already. Premium paying term is 7 years. Any suggestions, sir? You can share the plan. We'll be able to check the plan and tell you. And again, to be honest, if the plan is really good, I would ask you to continue. If it is not going to be useful to you, then I would ask you to come out of it. But I'll just see the plan once, and I'll tell you. With this data, I'll not be able to tell you, sir. Might not be appropriate also. From Mr. Karthik Kumar, is there a ULIP which can provide 100x cover for the premium paid? I see mostly we only get 10x cover for the premium paid. There should be an option for customers to choose the sum insured. Then ULIP will be more attractive. Sir, that will not be ULIP. That will be a term insurance, because getting 100x cover would be in a term insurance or even more than that. ULIP will not have. ULIP will mostly have only 10x cover, because that money is being invested. So basically, as I told you, that money is one part of the money goes to insurance and one part of the money goes to investment also. So on the side, on one side they are protecting you, at the same time on the other side they are investing your money and growing your money. So this is the maximum I think they'll be able to do. They'll not be able to provide you 100x cover. Yeah. You said MF beat index, but recent data survey and stats say clearly more than 85% is large cap equity funds fail and never beat index. It's only over short term we see super duper returns, but long term it'll all average out. So MF also underperforms. Yeah, sir. Sometimes I wouldn't disagree. Sometimes, but main idea is that in MF you have liquidity, right? In ULIP you might not have liquidity. So when there is an emergency or when there is a situation where you have to pull out the money from ULIP, first 5 years of login periods. So considering these points, MF sounds better, right? Because liquidity is also one of the main aspects to look at in a ULIP. I'm sorry, in a MF. And yeah, you may be right. Sometimes ULIP overperforms than MF, and sometimes MF underperforms than ULIP or even index data. So that's true only. We don't deny. But what we do is, we don't. So the idea is. So the idea is to not do fully in MF at the same time. I'm saying, right. So you can have some in ULIP, some in MF. So we're definitely not promoting MF here, but the point is to have it as a diversity product, and more liquidity will more make sense when there is a requirement or emergency. So yeah, you may be right, sir. MF sometimes underperforms. We agree to it. We don't deny that. But when I require the money, am I able to pull out the money is the question. And I think MF does that well than ULIP, because ULIP has first 5 years of locking period. From Mr. Narhari Halbi, what products are preferable at the age of 59? Sir, I'll have to understand your recommend fully, because since you've mentioned 59, I want to understand what your retirement age is, and are you still working, or what is the purpose that you want to take a new product at the same time is it going to be financially beneficial to you? So all these questions are there. So if you can contact us directly, or if you can reach us directly, then we'll be able to help you with that question, sir. From Mr. G. Manikandan, hi, you have mentioned 50K premium for a term insurance for sum assured of 5 crore. Is that right? Premium looks low. Sir, yeah, sir, the premium actually is kind of appropriate only. It's because, the person is only 30 years old and he's going to take only till 45 because he's going to retire at the age of 45. So considering his exact requirement, the premium well looks right. So it's not low. We have not put any low premium. We've taken the premium only and from the insurance website only, and we have put here. So that makes sense. Thank you, Ragam sir. Thanks for your messages too, your questions, and thanks for this interactive sessions. It gives me an idea that I have to add some more points to in the coming webinar, so that it is fully justified. At the same time, as I told you, this idea of having this webinar or this presentation is not to just clearly say ULIP is bad. ULIP is good, but again, we should know when to prioritize it. If you have like a proper term insurance, if you have like proper health insurance and everything, then you're taking a ULIP, then yes, we don't have any problem with that. We are absolutely okay, because you're diversifying, you have some flexibilities in ULIP and you want to make use of it and all that. We agree. And as also mentioned, you have a good tax benefit in ULIP, but just having only ULIP and not a proper term insurance, or not having proper insurance policies or any other products in place, which is the utmost requirement, then that's where the challenge really begins, and that's what we want to address also. Yeah. Hope this session was useful, and if at all you have any questions, you can mention. If not, we can connect in the next webinar. Again, we would also want to bring some more topics into the light. We also want to discuss some more topics. So there might be some points where I might not know, but you might be in a proper position to tell us. So we'll be happy to take that suggestions as well. So, and thanks for the wonderful session. And I really enjoyed it. So hope you too. So if we don't have any questions, then we can close the session for the day. Right. I think we can close the session today. Thanks for joining, and hoping to see you all next session also. Thank you.